Hello. Hello. Very good morning, everyone. And welcome to our 11 plus masterclass focusing on numbers part. Okay. First of all, let me introduce myself to you guys. I'm Snehesh and I have been tutor for Pi Academy for over more than 5 years now. And I'm here today to share my vivid experience with you guys on certain major things. The objective is to ace our 11 plus exams. But now, the certain areas which we will focus over today is how to identify what topics to cover up within different aspects. While talking about numbers, which we'll be doing today, it has numerous things. Firstly, simple things like understanding factors, multiples, then moving on to LCM and HCF, then slowly moving on to word problems on LCM and HCF, which are one of the most common occurring questions in almost all the 11 plus exams, whether that might be across GL board, CEM board, CSSE, or Saturn, SET, whatever that may be. Yep. We also got such similar questions, which is almost covered in all the exam boards, like arithmetic word problems involving maybe two-step or more than two-step operations. Again, if we go ahead along with HCF and word problems, if we cover up good arithmetic, I guess we can be able to comprehensively say that we have got a good base covered for the entire numbers. So today we will be looking at numerous tips and tricks how to solve such problems. Also, how to approach and understand what these problems are all about just to make your job much easier. Okay. So we will be totally looking out as to how to tackle these problems in the ultimate exams. All right. And now within this master class, we have divided it into simple two sessions for you, followed by one last recap session. So firstly, we will learn everything about numbers and the word problems on numbers. In this learning session, we'll talk about what is LCM, what is HCF, how to find LCF and HCF. Also, is there any easier way to figure it out? Then we will slowly move on to some of the word problems, also involving multi-step word problems. Now, what are multi-step word problems? Anyone? Any idea? Jill, go ahead. What are these problems?
These problems are where you have to do more than one step.
More than one step. By the way, more than one step, does it also mean you might need to use multiplication or maybe multiplication plus addition? Yeah. Or also the combination of division and multiplication. And how do you decide, by the way, if it's a multiplication or if it's a division, or at what step you need to multiply, what step you divide? Yes, Asaz, go ahead.
Like there's some words that mean division,
Mm, Like,
like uh uh. So if you have to add everything, it
hmm,
um what's it called? How much is like they're all
how much
together.
altogether or total, right?
Yeah,
Very good. So
and
basically, you try to look out for the keywords, correct? And what are those keywords which implies that you need to multiply? Anyone? Yes, Govind? I'm sorry, Govind. We are unable to hear you. Can you recheck your mic? Okay, that's fine. Maybe you I'd request you to recheck once. Yes, Akshita?
If you want to multiply, you have to search for the word. If like the product of, if it says the product of 7 and 9, then it's gonna
Hmm,
be 63.
63. Okay. But in the word problems, do you really see something like product word being used? Quite rarely, right?
Yeah.
Not many often. But let's say if I tell you that there is a marbles or a set of marbles or a set of cookies, and if one box of cookie costs, let's say £6, so what will be the cost of 10 such boxes of cookies?
60.
10 times 6, that is 60. So now you understood that you need to multiply. So my overall objective of explaining this to you is to understand that it's not always the keywords in the question that helps you figure out which operation it is. But it's even more than that. Sometimes you might also need to interpret and understand the word problem. What is it all about before deciding the correct operations? Okay. So again, how to deal with it with some examples we will look up in today's masterclass. And then of course, we will have a practice session where we will solve questions on all the things discussed like HCF, LCM, word problem. And these questions are specially taken from the actual 11 plus past papers, just so that we get a good and close exam feel of the things which we are solving and working on. Okay. So let us directly delve into today's masterclass. These are some of the three topics which we'll be covering up today. First is the arithmetic word problem. Second is the lowest common multiples. And third is the highest common factors. Okay. Here we go. What is arithmetic word problem? Is there anyone who would like to read out? Yes, Sasha, go ahead.
Arithmetic is a fundamental branch of mathematics that deals with basic mathematical operations involving numbers. Arithmetic primarily involves four basic operations: addition, combining two or more numbers to find their sum; subtraction, finding the difference between two numbers; multiplication, repeated addition, where you find the total of a number added to itself multiple times; and division, sharing or distributing a quantity into equal parts.
Equal parts. Very good. Okay. So now, what is arithmetic? It's basically a fundamental branch of mathematics. Well, let's not go into the terms, but yes, it's very important part of mathematics. It's like, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. We call it as different operations, isn't it? Because you have different rules. When you add, the numbers increase. When you subtract, the numbers decreases. When you multiply, it increases, but it increases much more than addition, right? Or we can say that multiplication is much stronger than addition. And when you divide, numbers decreases. But does it decrease as much as in subtraction? No, when you divide, let's say if you divide 100 by 2, what would you get? 50, right? But if you do 100 take away 2, what would you get? 98, isn't it? So these are all just different types of operations which we have in maths. Okay. So when add, you combine, and subtract, you find a difference, you multiply, you times it, and you divide. Okay. Now in the word problems, you might see different occasions where you need to do different operations, or maybe sometimes use multiplication followed by division, or addition followed by multiplication, or maybe more than two operations. Let us see the first example to understand. Here we go. Ben and his dad go to a cafe. Ben buys two hot chocolates for 2.5 pounds each. Okay. And three muffins for 1.80 pounds each. Whereas his dad buys two coffees for 2.2 pounds each and two sandwiches for 3.4 pounds each. They pay using a 30-pound note. Okay, this must be a 20-pound note followed by a 10-pound. So they pay overall 30 pound. Okay, so let's just make this slight update. They pay a total of 30-pound note. Okay, now The question is, how much change do they get? Okay. So firstly, what is the meaning of change? You go to a shop, you buy certain items, yeah, and if you are paying more than the actual cost of the items you bought, you will get change in return, right? So in any case, in order to find the change, what you need to do? You need to find total cost of all items bought, isn't it? Yeah. And what are the items which has been bought? There are two people. One is Ben. Okay. So what does Ben do? Ben buys two hot chocolates. What is the cost of one hot chocolate? 2.5 pounds. What will be the cost of two? 2 times 2.5, that is 5 pounds, isn't it? Yeah. So this is 5 pounds. And he also buys 3 muffins for 1.8 pounds each. Okay. So what will be the total cost of 3 muffins? 3 times 1.80, correct? And what is it? 5.4 pounds. Okay. Now this is the cost for Ben. Let's figure out what his dad bought. Again, he bought 2 coffees for 2.2 pounds. So if we times it together, we will get 4.4 pounds. And 2 sandwiches for 3.4 pounds. So 2 times 3.4, that is how much? 6.8 pounds. Correct? Now, what we need to do? We need to find the total cost of all the items bought. So that will be total cost of items bought by Ben plus his dad. Okay. So what we need to do? We need to add all together. 5 plus 5.4 plus 4.4 plus 6.8. Okay. So figure this out. Work out the total cost first. Yeah. And what you need to do first, when you have worked out the total cost, figure out the change. How are you going to do that? You're going to do the total amount paid, that is 30 pounds. Take away the total cost. Do this, guys, quickly. Give me the answers on the chat, please. Okay, now I have directed the chat only towards me so that you can share your answers confidentially. Okay, meanwhile, let us see what is this. We have 5 plus 5.4 plus 4.4 plus 6.8. Okay, so let's try to calculate 5 plus 5.4 is 10.4. 10.4 plus 4.4 is 14.8. And 14.8 plus 6 is 20.8. And 20.8 plus 0.8 is 21.6. So this will be 21.6 pounds. And what if we subtract it from 30 pounds? So we would get the change. And change would be 30, take away 21.6. How much is it? 9.4 or 8.4? It is 8.4 pounds. Yes. Kindly check if my answer is correct or I have made any mistake. It's correct, right? So the answer is 8.4 pounds. All right. So this was all about a multi-step word problem. Yes. Now, let us focus on LCM. Well, even before talking about LCM or even before talking about HCF, can anyone explain me what is the difference between multiples and factors, please? Yes. Yeah, Khalid, go ahead. What's the difference between multiples and factors? Yes, anyone?
If you're doing multiple, you times it. Like you times it with a number that can go with other numbers. Like you can do 2, 2 and 12. 2 times 6 will make 12.
Okay. And what about that factors?
I'm not sure about factors.
Okay. Well, we need to understand what's the difference between multiples and factors. Okay. So let's say I have a number 2. Okay. So when I talk about multiple of 2, okay, what I'll do, I'll just multiply it. All the numbers which comes under the times table, these are the multiples like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on. So any number that is actually coming under times table of 2 is a multiple of 2. Okay. But what about factors? Yes. Well, suppose I have a number, let's say 20. Can anyone give me all the factors of 20? Yes, Advaita. Can you tell me what are all the factors of 20?
So it's 1, 2, 4, and
And
10.
10. Okay.
Sorry, 5, 5, 5 as well, 5.
5 as well. All right.
Then 10 and then 20.
So we have 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. By the way, what are all these numbers? How you ended up figuring this out? It is all of these numbers which are factors of 20, they are actually dividing 20. Correct? They exactly divide 20 without leaving any remainder. So that is what is the factor. Okay, that's different from multiple. Multiple is something which comes under the times table. Okay, so when you talk about multiple of 2, you would have 2, then all the other numbers would be greater than 2. But when you talk about factors of 20, you would have 20 and all the other factors would be less than 20. So that's also one significant difference between multiples and factors. Now, looking towards what is LCM? What is it? LCM is basically the lowest common multiple. Okay. When we say common multiple, here we are trying to compare the two numbers. Okay, so we have the two numbers for which we are figuring out what multiples are common. Yeah. So lowest means smallest number, common means number shared between two or more numbers, and multiple means the product of two numbers. Okay, so what is LCM? These are multiples that are shared by two or more whole numbers. Okay, let's directly see the example to understand better. The question is, find the lowest common multiple of 6 and 15. Okay, so how do you start with? Well, very firstly, you need to list out the multiples of 6. Okay, what are the multiples of 6? Well, numbers coming in the 6 times table, that are 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, and so on, right? And what are the multiples of 15? Let us list out. We have 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, so on. Okay. Now, look at the multiples which are common in 6 and 15. Which multiples are common among 6 and 15? We can see this 30, correct? So 30 is the first multiple that is common. Okay. Even if you try to go beyond 30, you were somewhere you would get 60, correct? So 60 is also a common multiple. Likewise, if you proceed, you would also have 90 and so on. Now, among the common multiples, we need to find the lowest common multiple. That's the first multiple which is appearing common. The lowest is 30. Hence, the multiple is 30. Okay. So what you do to figure out LCM? Firstly, list out the multiples. Try to find the lowest of the common one or the first common multiple. Okay. All right. Now, let us look for what is HCF. Well, the full form of HCF is highest common factor. Okay. And HCF of two or more numbers, it is nothing but highest common factor among the given numbers. Again, the exact same method which we have used to find the LCM, that we're going to copy it down for HCF. So what we're going to do, just like LCM, we will list out the factors of both. Okay. Then we will identify all the common factors. Among all the common factors, the highest one is the HCF. Unlike for LCM, we were figuring out the lowest common multiple. For HCF, we will figure out the highest common factor. Okay. So let us see the question. What is the highest common factor of 21 and 45? Okay. So firstly, we are asked to list out the factors of 21 and 45. Can anyone help me list this out, please? What are the factors of 21? Yes, Harish, go ahead.
The factors of 21 are 1,
1,
3,
3, very
7,
good.
and
7
21.
and 21, very good. So there are only 4 factors of 21, or there are only 4 numbers which will divide 21 without leaving a remainder. Good. Okay. And what are the factors of 45? Anyone? Yes? Pari, what are the factors of 45? Yes? Is 1 a factor of 45?
Factor and 3.
3, okay.
5
5, very good.
and 9
9, good.
and I think 15
15,
and
very
45.
good. 45, excellent. Okay. So 1, 3, 5, 9, 15, and 45. By the way, why is 10 not a factor of 45? Can you tell me, please?
Because 10 the multiples of 10 only end in zeros, but this one ends in a 5.
Correct. And does 45 goes in 10 stable,
No.
right? Whereas all the other things, 45 comes in 3 stable, right? 45 comes
Yeah.
in 4 stable, it comes in 9 stable, 15 stable. Hence, all these are factors. Very good. Now, what are all the common factors? Let us see. Well, 1 is a common factor. 3 is also a common factor. It's appearing in both. Then what we have? We don't have 7, nor we have 9 as common, nor we have 15 or 45. So there are only 2 common factors, which are 1 and 3. And so what is the highest common factor? Highest is 3. So HCF is 3. Okay, this is the HCF. By the way, I got a question. What does HCF and LCM actually tells you? Suppose if you have a word problem, how are you going to identify that it's an HCF problem or an LCM problem? Yeah. Well, you know what is, first of all, HCF. Okay, if you look at this, can anyone tell me what is the highest number that can divide both 21 and 45 without leaving a remainder? Yes. What is the highest number which will divide both 21 and 45 without leaving a remainder? Yes, Farida?
Is it 3?
Exactly. It is 3. Basically, it is the HCF. Okay. So suppose if you want to divide something, okay, or if you are a divide, let's say there are 21 girls and 45 boys. If you want to divide it into groups such that there are equal number of girls and boys. So how many such groups can you make? How many groups of the people can you make? 3 groups. In such situations, you can use of the HCF. Okay. Likewise, what does lowest common multiple tells you? Yes. This tells you the smallest number that is multiple of both the given numbers. Okay. So again, how we use this in the word problem that we will very quickly see in today's class. Yeah. So now let us directly jump up to our practice session and start solving with some of the simple questions. Okay. By the way, before that, anyone has any questions you have? Yes. In regards to LCM and HCF? Also, I will kindly request everyone to drop down their hands. So anyone with the queries would be identified. Okay, assuming no doubts, let us move ahead. Okay. Here we have the very first question. There are 4 prime numbers between 10 and 20. Okay. Pete adds two of these prime numbers to get a square number. Okay. What square number does he get? Firstly, what are these prime numbers known as? Yes. Just now we talked about factors, right? So these prime numbers, these are actually the numbers which have no factor, or the prime numbers are the numbers which have only one and the number itself as a factor. So it has no other factor except the number itself and 1. What does this mean? Take an example of 19. Okay. Now, is there any number which can divide 19 without giving a remainder? No, right? There is no number which can divide 19 without giving a remainder, but there is 19. If you divide 19 divided by 19, okay, remainder is 0, correct? But even if you divide 19 divided by 1, remainder is 0. But is there any other number apart from this 19 and 1? No, right? Similarly, think about 5. 5 divided by 5, remainder is 0. Correct? 5 divided by 1, remainder is 0. Is there any other number apart from 5 and 1? No, right? So the numbers which have no other factor, okay, except the number itself and this 1, these are prime numbers. Understood? So what are the prime numbers if we try to list down? You started from 2, you got 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, then 23, and so on. Correct. Okay. Now let us look at the question. There are 4 prime numbers between 10 and 20. Pete adds together 2 of these prime numbers to get a square number. Yes, can anyone tell me what these square numbers are, or any example of square numbers? Yes, Sabina, Yasmin, go ahead.
So prime number. So a square number for a example for a square number is 2 squared. So 2 times 2 equals 4. So a square number, what it is that it's a number that if you times a number by itself, that's a square number.
Correct. If you times a number by itself. Okay. So if you have 2 square, that is 4. 3 square, that is 9, and so on, right? So what are the square, some of the square numbers if you begin with? You got 1, because 1 times 1 is itself 1, and 4, then 9, 4 square is 16, 5 square is 25, 6 square is 36, 7 square is 49, and so on, right? But if you add a number between 10 and 20, your answer would be somewhere close to this, right? It should be either 36 or it should be either 25. Okay. So can you check from this, which of the prime numbers between 10 to 20? There are these 4 prime numbers. Which of these prime numbers could have added to either 25 or 36? If you check, well, if you do 13 and 17, it adds up to 20. Okay. But check this, 19 and 17, they add up to 36, isn't it? 17 plus 19, that is 36. So what were the 2 prime numbers Pete added? 17 and 19. Okay. And what square number does he get? 36. So the answer is 36. Yeah. So in order to solve this one single problem, you must know what are factors. Also, you should be able to understand prime numbers very clearly and also the square numbers. So we can take it as a medium level problem. Again, moderate, easy to medium. Yeah. But this question should be solved with no more than 1 minute. So that is the level of practice you guys needs to achieve. Okay. All right. Let us see the next one. What is the largest number that's a factor of both 48 and 64? What does this mean? This simply means you need to figure out the HCF of 48 and 64. Give it a try, everyone. Give me your answers on chat, please. Quickly. Again, this problem should be solved with no more than 1 minute. Okay. It's actually a simple, easy level problem. Okay, so Akshita, your question of what is the use of HCF and LCM in daily life will surely come up to this question, yeah, when we will see some of the word problems. All right, let us see. Well, what was the first step? We are supposed to list down all the factors. Okay, so let's start with the factors of 48. What are the factors? Well, we have 1. Yeah. Then 48 is also divisible by 2. Well, it's also divisible by 3, right? 4, yes, it is. Not 5. 6, yes. Not 7. Well, 8, 6 8s are 48, right? Not 9, not 10, not 11, but 12, yes. Then 13, no. 14, no. 15, no. 16, yes. Yeah. And likewise, I guess then we will directly have 24 as a factor followed by 48. Correct? Okay. Now, looking out for 64. Okay. Well, it's surely divisible by 1, also by 2. What about 3? No, right? Then it's divisible by 4, not by 6, not by 7, but it's divisible by 8. Then not by 9, not 10, not 11, not 12, right? 13, 14, 15. What about 16? 16 fours are 64, right? Yeah. Then what about 18? No, right? Then I guess we directly have 32 and 64. Is there any number between 16 and 32? No, right? So these are all the factors. What is the high common factor first of all? Well, these are 1, will we have 2, we have 4, we have 8, and that's it. Yeah. Well, we also have this 16. Correct. And now among these common factors, what is the highest common factor? 16. So the answer is 16. Okay. So what is the correct HCF answer? It is 60. All right. Okay, I can see many of you guys got this correct, but many got wrong as well. They marked 8 as the correct answer. Okay, so remember guys, whenever you try to work out for the factors, yeah, suppose when you list out the first 2 or 3 or 4 factors. Now if you look at this, 8 is a multiple of this 4 and this 2, correct? This 12 is a multiple of this 4 and this 3. This 16 is a multiple of this 4 square. Okay, so even the first 3 or 4 factors would give you a hint of what the following factors would be. Yeah. So be smart over here as well. We should not be missing out any factor while listing, because eventually we are going to get an incorrect answer if we miss any potential. Yeah. Let us see the next question now. Okay, find the lowest common number which is a multiple of both 12 and 16. Okay, do this in 30 seconds, please. This is a very simple problem. Give me the answers. Yes, so list out the multiples of 12, list out the multiples of 16. Quickly. Yes, come on, Shrishti, Advaita. Guys, please recheck. It is the multiple LCM. Akshita, Asaj, Shanmati. Guys, please recheck your answers. We're asked to figure out the multiple, yeah? So what is the multiples of 12? 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, and so on, right? Numbers coming under the tables. What about 16? We got 16, 32, 48, 64, and so on. If you compare, what is the lowest common multiple? The common one is 48. Yeah, which is present in both. So the LCM is actually 48. Hence, the correct answer is 48. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Yes, Amira, would you kindly read out this question?
John is writing a number between 1 and 150. It is the cube of an odd number. The highest common factor of 150 and John's number is a square number. What is John's number?
Okay, well, this is appearing to be some quiz type problem, isn't it? Firstly, Amira, can you tell me what is the cube number? They say it's a cube of an odd number. What does this mean?
It's
Okay, how many times do you need to multiply when you talk about cube?
twice.
Why? I guess twice is for the square, right? For cube it is
4.
not 4, but 3. Okay, something like this. Cube of 3 is 3 times 3 times 3. This is cube of 3. Okay, what's the answer to this? 27, is it? Yeah. What is the cube of 4? 4 times 4 times 4. That is 64. What is the cube of 5? 5 times 5 times 5. That is 125. Okay, that's what is the cube. Now, let's get back to this question. John is writing a number between 1 and 150. Okay, and it is the cube of an odd number. Okay, what odd number cube is between 1 and 150? Let us check. Well, if you do 1 times 1 times 1, it is 1. So you have this as an odd number and its cube is 1. You have cube of 3, which is odd number, that is 27. 4 is even. And you have cube of 5, that is odd number, that is 125. Okay. Now, let us try to think among this 1 27 or 125? Which of it is actually John's number which he is talking about? Let us see the clues. Well, it is a cube of an odd number. All right, we got 127 and 125. And they say the highest common factor of 150 and John's number, it is a square number. Okay. Now, what is the highest common factor of 150 and let's say 1? Okay, we got three possible answers for John's number. So John's number can be either 1, yeah, or 27 or 125. Cube of the three odd numbers between 1 and 150. Now, among these numbers, what is the HCF of 150 and 1? What is it? It's simply 1, right? Because 1 has only 1 as the common factor. Okay. What is the HCF of 150 and 27? Let us quickly determine this. Well, 150 factors are what? We got 1, then we got 3, we also have 2, yeah, then we got 3, then we got 5, correct? Then do we have 6? Yes, right? 2 6 are 12, 5 6 are 30. Yeah. So we got 6, then we got 7, no. We got 8, no. Got 9, no. We got 10, right? Then we got 15. Then what we have? We got 25, correct? Then what else we have? We got 30 as well. No, we don't have 30. Yeah. Then we got 50. Then we got 75. And then we directly have 150. Okay. What about 27? Well, 27 just has 1 and then what? 3 and then 9. Correct? And then directly 27. So what is the highest common factor of 150 and 27? What is it? Well, I can see 3 is the only highest common factor. Okay. But according to the question, the HCF of 150 and John's number, it's a square number. Is 3 a square number? No, right? 3 is not a square number. That means the answer is not 1, the answer is not 27, hence the answer must be 125. Correct? Yeah. Let us very quickly find what is the factors of 125. Yeah. Well, we got 1. Yes. Then we got 3. No, but we directly have 5. Then we don't got 10. Have we got 15? No, right? Then I guess we directly got 25, isn't it? Then anything in between? I guess then we directly have 125. Okay. Now let us see. Among 150 and 125, we got these two numbers, right? One is 25. And over here as well, we have this number 25. Okay. So what is the highest common factor? HCF of 150 and 125 is 25. And is 25 a square number? 25 is a square number. Correct? So what is the John's number? John's number is 125. Well, this was a good level question. We will call it as a medium level problem. And you guys must be able to solve it under a minute and a half. Okay, so 1.5 minutes. All right. So this question involved using up the clues and sorting things out. Okay. Yes, let's see the next question now. Evan, would you kindly read out this question?
Three buses service stop at my bus stop. Service A departs every 3 minutes. service B every 5 minutes, and service C every 8 minutes. If all three services leave my shop at 10 a.m., at what time will they next leave my shop together? Assume that all three services always run on time.
Okay. Now, look at this problem. What have they given us? There are three buses. Okay. So there is this bus A. It departs every 3 minutes. Okay. B departs every 5 minutes. C departs every 8 minutes. All right. And what is given? All three services leave my stop at 10 a.m. Okay. So all the buses are leaving at 10 a.m. So let's say the bus A leaves at 10 a.m. What is the next time the next bus A would leave? 10:03, isn't it? The following time would be 10:06. Yeah. Followed by 10:09, followed by 10:12, and so on. Correct? Because they leave in every 3 minutes. Let us look at this. For bus B, well, it is leaving in 10, then 10:05, then 10:10, then 10:15, and so on. Correct? And what about the next? Bus C, it's leaving in every 8 minutes. So 10:08, followed by 10:16, followed by 10:24, correct? And so on, all in the multiples of 8 minutes. Now, what is it you need to figure out is, what will be the next time when they will leave the stop together? How can we do this? We basically need one time which will come in 3 minutes, one time which will come in 5 minutes, and one time which will come in 8 minutes. How can we find that time which will come in all the three? Think out. It is going in the multiples of 3. This is going in the multiples of 5. This is going in the multiples of 8. So what if we end up figuring out common multiple of this 3, 5, and 8? Yeah. Let's try to do that. What will be the lowest common multiple? Let's say the multiples of 3 first. What are those? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Yeah. Then 27, then 30. We have 33, 36, 39, 42, 45. Correct? And so on. What about the multiples of 5? Yes, we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and so on. Okay, and what about the multiples of 8? We got 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. Then what? Then we have 56, then we have 64, we have 72, we have 80, and so on. Okay, what will be the lowest common multiple? Can you find any multiple which is common in all the three? Check out. Yeah. Well, we have this 30. 30 is common in 3. It's common in 5, but it's not present in 8. Right? Yeah. Similarly, we also have this 40. This is present in 5. This is present in 8, but not in 3. So what you will do, just now someone has also asked me how to figure out the multiples very quickly. So what you do, take up the common multiples of the two. Okay. So suppose, what are the common multiples you have over here? Among, let's say, 3 and 5, what is the lowest common multiple? That is 15. Correct? Yeah. LCM of 3 and 5 is 15. Now, if you need to find LCM of 3, 5, and 8, and this is only when there are no common multiples at the start. What does this mean? We already listed out, but we realized that there is just no common multiple. You need to keep on extending, but that's going to take a lot of time. So what you do, just take the LCM of 3 and 5, that is 15, and times it by the next number which you need to figure out, that is 8. What is 15 times 8? 120. That means the LCM of 3, 5, and 8 is 120 minutes. Understood what we have done over here? Well, we just simply realized that if we keep on increasing the list of multiples, it's going to be time consuming because you're not getting up the answer. There is no common multiple matching up all the three. So what you're going to do, take the lowest common multiple of the initial two numbers, multiply it by the third number. Okay. So here the LCM is 120 minutes. You know what does this mean in this question? This means after 120 minutes, we will get a time present in all the three services. Okay. So that will be present in A, it will be present in B, and it will be present in C. Now, what is 120 minutes after 10 a.m.? 120 minutes is 2 hours, right? So 2 hours after 10 is how much? 12 noon. Correct? So now, if they ask you what time will they next leave my stop together, that will be when all the three would have the same time, and that is after 120 minutes. That is on 12 noon. So the answer is 12 noon. Okay. Well, this can be considered as a hard level problem. Why? Not only because you needed to figure out the LCM, but figuring out the LCM itself was a bit challenging. Yeah. Again, there is one more method which you can use to find the LCM. That is basically using the factorization tree. Okay. That is also one of the good efficient method which you guys should surely know of, which also we cover in many of our usual classes, but for the time being, this is the best method. Okay. Again, this question could have been able to solve under 2 minutes at max. So that's the type of preparation you guys need. Okay. So coming up to a very quick of the recap session, what we have covered, we talked about arithmetic word problems, the multi-step arithmetic problem, how to identify, how to use up the operations, how to select the operations, and also understand it's not always the keywords like altogether or product which comes up. Yeah. Many a times you also need to interpret the problem carefully and decide which is the correct operation. Then talking about the highest common factor, well, highest common factor tells you what is the biggest number that can divide the given list of numbers without leaving a remainder. And lowest common multiple is the smallest multiple. Okay. So suppose if you are given one thing occurs in 2 minutes, other thing occurs in 3 minutes, the next thing occurs in 5 minutes, when it will occur together again. So it's like this cycle of different things happening in some time interval. In such cases, you find out the lowest common multiple of those times to get your answer. So that is how the problems on lowest common multiples are. Okay. So that was it for today's class. I thank you everyone for joining up with our today's masterclass. And now we will have a very small parents question and answer session where all of your queries regarding 11 plus resources, how to prepare, how to practice, what are the different options which we can, that will be covered. So now I would like to request our product team to come up and commence up with this parents question and answer session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Sneharsh, and thanks to all the students for joining in. And now I would just request all the parents to jump in for their Q&A sessions, for the Q&A session, basically. And the parents can drop in their queries in the chat box below, and me and Sneharsh will help you out with all the answers. Also, as you can see, as we have committed as well, we are offering a Master 30 coupon code, which would be applicable to all the products of Pi Academy, and you would straight away get 30% discount. And this coupon code is only available for 24 hours only, so it would expire tomorrow. So make the most of it out of it. And meanwhile, while you'll be dropping your queries on the chat box below, I will be walking you through the website and how and what all resources you can use to prepare for the 11 plus exam. So I can see one question has come up. Okay, someone has asked about the maths question. Sneharsh, would you like to take that up? What level of LCM and HCF will there be in the 11 plus? Please give an example. And to
Sure.
answer this, you can, Sneharsh, you can jump in and then I'll take second.
Yes. Thank you for that question, Akshita. So, when you talk about a level of HCM and HCF problems, well, firstly, you would surely be asked to figure out LCM and HCF given the two numbers, like work out the biggest number that can divide 12 and 24, or find the simple LCM problem. But many a times we have also seen lot of tougher word problems on LCM which has also came up, just like one of the problems which we have seen in the master class today. Yeah. So we need to prepare ourselves for both the word problems and also for the steps to list out the factors and multiples and use it to find the LCM. So these are the most common appeared types.
To answer the second question, how can the children make sure that they understand the topic? I would just like to take the parent through that. To ensure that the children understands entire topic, we have this feature of one-to-one tuition, and there, as per every child's unique needs, one-to-one tuition helps with our expert tutors. You will be guided throughout, like whatever the plan is there, as per the student's strength and weaknesses. We will help you with that. And apart from that, in the 11 plus tuition, we also take the free diagnostic assessment. So in that, a detailed plan would be made and curated for your child so that you do not, every student's unique needs are taken care of. That is one special thing. Apart from that, as your children will be solving several past papers or the mock tests and everything of the sorts, you would come across some of the topics that your child is weak in and some of the topics which your child has a strength in. So for that, we have a special topic wise sections. So if you hover on the 11 plus papers on the website and go to this topic wise section, you would be able to see that we have created entire sorting of all the topics, and all the number of questions are there for that particular topic. So suppose if you see here all the maths topics including measurement, and in the bracket you can see the number of questions for that topic, then time, sorting, tree, number, pattern, sequences, all these things are mentioned. And apart from that, if you see on every question as well, you would see that this is related to which type of question, and how much time does your child needs to take to solve this in. So this will really help in to get a personalized overview of what your child strengths are and what are the weaknesses. I hope that answers your question, Sasha. Will there be any other upcoming masterclass? If yes, what will be the subjects? So yes, we do conduct masterclass regularly. I would request you all to join our WhatsApp group. The support team would share the link so that you would be updated on all the upcoming masterclasses. And yeah, and the masterclass topics that are always going to be different. Like sometimes we run comprehension masterclass, sometimes creative writing, storytelling, numbers, geometry. All such classes are taken care of. Okay, are there any tips to solve quickly in any types of questions? So of course there are different ways to solve the question, and our 11 plus tutors who, as you have seen, Sneha explained it throughout. So you can see that we do provide all the exam related tips and time management tips to boost the confidence of the child and ensure they are, progressing from there. I think I'm receiving the messages directly. I would request the support team to make it visible to everyone. Do you have different papers for different schools? So yeah, Sasha has asked the question. So as once you hover on the 11 plus papers, you would see that we have different kind of papers. 11 plus maths past papers, 11 plus English past papers. We do have non-verbal reasoning, SPAG papers, vocabulary, comprehension, creative writings, literary devices. All these papers are there. Apart from that, we do have the packs for all the board specific uh, papers and packs. So if you go to this practice papers, you would be able to see all the papers from there. And just to show that how the school specific papers would look like, I'll just show this. Just a minute. I think my net is a little bit low. Yeah, here as you can see, we have all the schools listed and all the papers of the schools are there. So like St. Paul's Girls' School, City of London School, then King's College, Wycombe Abbey, all the school papers can be easily found. And apart from that, we do provide a planner. So if you go here, you would be able to see the different level of papers. So depending on when you are starting your child's preparation, you can see there are easy level papers, the medium level papers, and also the hard level papers. So this would ensure that you are not just solving one kind of papers, but getting across all the different levels of papers. Okay. Are there any tips that I've taken? Do you have different papers taken? Yeah, that is one thing. Apart from that, I would like to show you one really curated thing that we have come up with the courses. So since February half term is just going to start in a couple of days, maybe probably next week. So we have started the February half term. We are going to start a February half term courses from 15th of February till 23rd of February. In that courses, you can see we are providing the courses for GL Mastery, which would include all the subjects like maths, English, VR, and NVR. So basically, VR. So here, if you go to the the course plan, you would be able to see the exact dates and timings of the courses. We we are also providing 11 plus geometry courses, verbal reasoning half term course, non-verbal reasoning, comprehension again, which is very popular, creative writing, algebra, and also the exam fractions, the decimals and percentages course. So as you can see, the different courses have different start time and ending time. And some of the courses do have the mock test. So if let's say I've come to the GL Mastery course, I can see that it is of the duration for 8 days, and it would cover English, maths, and verbal reasoning. And what the start date is 15th February, end date is 23rd February, and the session is going to last for 2 hours 30 minutes. So 1 hour for English, 1 hour for maths, and half an hour for VR, with a 15 minutes gap for after each courses. And here, as you can see, you would be able to find the detailed structure of the courses. And right now, we are offering the courses on 50%, and over and above, if you apply the Master 30 coupon code, you would be able to get additional discounts. So make sure you use that benefit, because that is only exclusive for the attendees of Masterclass, and it would expire after 24 hours. Do you have any courses for students preparing for GL Port? So as you can see, I just spoke about that. GL Mastery course is here, which you can definitely enroll for. And it would be an 8-day course with every day 2 hours, 30 minutes. And that is going to be a most sought after course. So yeah, that is one. Apart from that, if I just want to show you, let's say, comprehension one, I would just click on the check course plan and you would be able to see all the details here as well. Yeah. So this course is starting from 17th February till 21st February, and it is suitable for all the year 5 and year 6 students as well, and it would cover the preparation for grammar as well as independent schools. And as you can see, it covers all the syllabus for all the boards: GL, CSSC, SET, ISCB. So yes. And the course outline is also mentioned, like whatever we would be covering. So you can definitely check these pages out and just apply for that. Okay. Do you have test papers for different year groups? So yes, depending on in which year your child is in, you can check out pre-11 plus as well, and also 11 plus. So in the pre-11 plus, you can see that we have 7 plus solve past paper, 7 plus maths topic wise, 8, 9, and 10 as well. So this is the year wise bifurcation. So you can check out the pre-11 plus and 11 plus paper section to get suitable product for your child. How do you guys know the model of papers of SAT schools in schools like QE, Wilson, when those papers are not publicly available? So yes, that's a very nice question. So we have entire team who always look after and does all the research part for you, and that's how they come up with all the questions and papers for specific boards. So if you will go to this practice papers for specifically for every board, you would be able to see, and we are always updating those papers regularly so that nothing is missed out. So yes, this is the one that you can see: GL style pack, Ken style pack. Apart from that, there is revision and practice section and interview guide as well. So yeah, I think I got. Do you have test that is addressed? Uh, do you have any term course for CSSE? So specifically for CSSE, no, but that said, as I said already, all the courses are going to be very comprehensive. So that would not only cover for the particular board, but it would cover entirely. So it would be a very detailed course. So you can check it out more on the page of the product specifically. Yeah. I think these are all the questions. Apart from, okay, just got one more. Yeah, I think that is all. I would just like to reiterate myself that the coupon code is just valid for the next 24 hours.